We'd like to welcome everyone at the American Association for Legal Nurse Consultants to our LexisNexis CaseMap demonstration. My name is Tyler Bell. I'll be your host for the call today to talk about LexisNexis CaseMap and how it can help with your medical cases. So LexisNexis CaseMap inherently is a litigation case analysis solution. So it's definitely used by tons of attorneys in the AmLaw 100 and 200 markets. But we also have quite a few legal nurse consultants who make use of CaseMap as well to help develop medical chronologies and to keep track of medical records. So before we get into our demonstration today, I just want to mention at a high level that when we talk about CaseMap, you may hear 4 other applications. LexisNexis CaseMap is, once again, our litigation case analysis software, but it's really a case analysis tool at its core. What CaseMap does is it gives you the ability to bring together all of the facts of your case, all of the documents, understand your parties involved, such as your patients and the facts that they're related to, and to also help you associate any of the core issues of the case to the relevant documents, issues, or facts that they're related to. LexisNexis TimeMap is a timeline graphing software you can use alongside CaseMap if you wanted to create high-quality timeline visuals of key events in the case. We also have TextMap, which is a transcript and deposition management tool. So if you're working in a designation or if there's an interview and you need to annotate, search, or apply notes to transcripts from a deposition, LexisNexis TextMap can help you organize all of those transcripts. And then last on the list, but definitely not least, is LexisNexis Sanction. Sanction is our trial presentation software. So all the evidence and documents you've organized in CaseMap, all of the timelines you've created in TimeMap, and even those deposition transcripts, you can import them into Sanction when it's time to present that evidence before an audience. So you can think of Sanction similar to the way you think of PowerPoint, but it's much more flexible and dynamic because you can call up items on the fly and nothing has to be preset as a part of a presentation. So today's call is to focus on CaseMap, but I just wanted to mention these other tools because you may want to look at them at another time, but we're now going to jump into a demonstration of LexisNexis CaseMap 14, and I'll show you how it can manage your case files. So LexisNexis CaseMap at its core is a spreadsheet application. And if you've ever used spreadsheets before, this is a very intuitive software to learn, but the whole idea of CaseMap is to help you get organized. And this is really stage 1 of the case where you're perhaps uncovering those medical records, understanding what facts you have to support your patients, understanding what's happening in the case, who's involved, and what type of evidence you have. So using CaseMap, you can bring together that information into a single location so that you can collaborate with your team, and it also makes things much easier to access. There's a lot of analysis you can do in CaseMap as well, from things like filtering and searching for specific facts about a patient or a document. We have all sorts of search functionality embedded into CaseMap to really help you analyze the fine details of the case. And then lastly, there's a lot of reports we can create out of CaseMap, from things like fact chronologies, which can be used to create medical chronologies from the case. If you need to see a list of medications that someone was given by a certain doctor, or the facts that a certain medication is involved in, these are all just some of the reports you can create in CaseMap, but the reports are so customizable. So jumping into the tool, once you're inside CaseMap, once again, it's very much so a spreadsheet application. It's very intuitive. We have a ton of editing options up at the top if you're looking to create new facts or add new records into the table. But we're first going to talk about some of the areas that CaseMap can help you organize. So over to the left, you'll see a list of favorites in CaseMap. And these are just a few of the areas of your case that CaseMap can help with. It can help you organize your facts. If you're trying to track the dates and times of key events, you can do that in CaseMap. If you need to add notes about the fact, such as, a person receiving a certain medication, you can actually link those persons and medications to the chronology to keep track of the number of facts they're related to. You can also link source documents to facts. So if this document or fact specifically comes from a document, you can cite to the document in the chronology. And you can also link your facts to medical issues like personal injury in this scenario. So what makes CaseMap unique is it's not just a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel. It actually gives you the ability to describe the fact, to link the parties involved, as well as any medications, and even create reports around that information. So unlike Excel, where you're just typing things in CaseMap, you can actually link the documents and have access to the files as well using a little paperclip out to the left. So we're going to come back to the fact spreadsheet in a few moments, but this is an excellent area of CaseMap to develop your medical chronologies. In addition to organizing facts, CaseMap can also help you track the relevant persons in the case. So you can see here, I have Julian Kaufman, I have Mr. Philip Hawkins, I have Dr. Steve Johnson, who's actually our medical practitioner in this case. CaseMap enables you to develop an outline for all of the key persons and to track the number of facts they're related to. For instance, Mr. Philip Hawkins here, he was our patient in this case. I can do things like describe him. If the rest of the team needs to know more information about the patient, you can type in a little bit of information. And over to the right, you'll actually see this section called number of facts. So if and every time Mr. Philip Hawkins is linked to an event, I can actually keep track of that and generate a report, a complete profile of all of the facts Mr. Philip Hawkins is related to. Adding persons into CaseMap is really easy. There's a new person icon up here. Every time you get a new patient or you want to add a doctor, you can just simply type in the name of the person here. So you can build profiles and keep track of all of your important people. So CaseMap can also track your medical records and documents. Notice there is a document spreadsheet as well. So any of those prescriptions, those medical records or documents you receive, you can consolidate those files and upload them into CaseMap to link them back out to CaseFacts. So just to show you how this works, up at the top, you can click on Review Link Files, and this is what you would typically see after documents have arrived in CaseMap. Over to the left, I have a full list of my documents, and these could be medical records, prescriptions, letters, you name it. And notice as you click on a document, CaseMap will review that file here for reporting. So this is actually an X-ray that Mr. Philip Hawkins received during his visit to LNX Medical Center, right? So you can see I can kind of zoom in and zoom out on the X-ray, but the cool thing about CaseMap is if any part of this document is related to a fact, I can instantly add this into my chronology. So what I want to do is I want to cite to this fact that, there was a herniation here in the disc of Mr. Philip Hawkins. So from the menu up in the documents, I can actually choose annotate area. And I can just highlight a section of this document that's important. Like I'm going to highlight this here. I'm just going to say, injury to neck. And we're just going to say that, this is disc 3 through 4 affected, right? So I'm just basically pinpointing this location in the X-ray. And I want that this is the cause of the injury or the source of the injury, right? So once I do that, I can choose an option to add a fact. We're just going to do this one more time. So I'm going to highlight. I'm just going to say affected area of the neck. Let's get the correct spelling there. And I'll say create a new fact in CaseMap. So what I can do here is I can add a fact into my chronology, right? So what if I knew the date the X-ray was taken? Let's say this happened 01, 05, 1998. I'm just going to add the date there. There's my note. I said this is the affected area of the neck, and I can also link Mr. Hawkins, right? Because Hawkins is involved in this fact as well. But down below, I can go here to issue linker, and I'm going to say this is linked to the issue of personal injury, and I'll say okay. And now when we go back to our facts chronology, you'll see that I've inserted a fact directly from that document. So here's the fact, this is the affected area of the neck of Mr. Philip Hawkins. Notice I've captured my note there. I also captured the date and time that the X-ray or fact occurred, and I've linked it to the document, which is the examination and the issue of personal injury. So this is just one of the ways in CaseMap where you can pull up those documents, you can highlight what's important, and you can add that information into your facts chronology. The cool thing about it is not only do I have the fact, where we're talking about the affected area of the neck of Mr. Philip Hawkins, out to the left, if I click this paperclip, this takes me back to my source document. So that's the great thing about CaseMap is you're keeping your facts, you're keeping your evidence, the parties involved, as well as the issues, you're keeping all of those things tied together in a central location. So for instance, now, if I were to go to one of the reports in CaseMap, this could be very valuable if you needed to generate a report showing you all of the facts you have based on a certain issue. So one of the reports in CaseMap is called a by issue report. And I can tell CaseMap specifically, I want to look at facts linked to medical malpractice, to personal injury, to mental anguish. And I can do that very quickly. So once I say next here, I can actually customize the report if I want to exclude certain issues or to remove them. I'm actually just going to stick to the default report here, and I'll say next, and I'll show you this as an HTML report. You can also produce this to PDF or Microsoft Word if you want. But just to give you an idea of the type of report you can create, CaseMap will now show us a full facts chronology based on all of the issues we've uncovered. So you can see here, issue number 1 is wrongful termination. We're not going to look at that issue. We want it to look at medical malpractice. So what CaseMap did in a few seconds is it quickly generated a report showing us facts organized by issue. And when it comes to the issue of medical malpractice, I have all of my corresponding facts relating to that issue here. So once again, I can customize this report to include or exclude certain issues that I may be interested in. So back to the document spreadsheet, when it comes to tracking those medical records, you can keep track of the titles of those documents. You can also track who wrote the files, who it was received by, and you can also keep the documents organized, right? So anything that's a prescription, I have a drop-down list here that I can expand on, and I can apply those tags to a document. So at the end of the day, if you wanted a medical records report, you can filter in CaseMap, and there are all of your medical records, right? So there's tons of things you can do with documents, from the document review capabilities we have in CaseMap to look at documents. You can annotate areas of the file if you want to apply annotations, and you can also apply redactions as well as print documents right out of CaseMap also. So a lot of our clients also use CaseMap as kind of a light document review tool if they're creating some document productions. So you're tracking your persons, you're tracking your documents. You also can track the issues of the case. As I mentioned, you can link those issues to facts, you can link them to documents and other case elements. So in this case, the issue of medical malpractice, you can see it's outlined here in the chronology of issues. There is a column here called number of facts that shows me specifically the number of facts this issue is linked to. Now, we just looked at these facts in the report, but just to show you, you can create a quick report here, and it instantly shows you all facts linked to medical malpractice. Medical malpractice could also be linked to documents inside CaseMap. So one of the columns you can insert is the number documents column, like I'm doing here. And this would be a quick way to see any documents linked to the issues as well. So the issues in CaseMap can be linked to facts. They can also be linked to documents or even a person that we're reviewing as a part of this case file. So these are the favorite spreadsheets. Once again, CaseMap's going to track the facts. It's going to track your persons involved in the case, from your doctors, your patients, your other important parties. It also organizes your documents as well as your issues. Now, something else that I want to point out, and this could be really helpful for the legal nurse consultants, is really just CaseMap keeping you up to speed on what's happening inside this case file. So up at the top, I have this notification center so that every day someone opens CaseMap, they can go to the dashboard to see if there's any new issues, any new facts, new documents, or new people who have been added into CaseMap. You can actually adjust this notification center to track over the last 7 days, the last 14 days, or the last 28 days if you want, and CaseMap will keep updates on that information accordingly. Down below, the next section of the graph of the dashboard here are some analytics charts we have. And CaseMap is just tracking the total number of facts you have, and it's actually breaking those facts out by issue. So I can see 9 facts linked to the issue of medical malpractice. I have 6 facts for wrongful termination, 6 facts that are Hawkins specific, and also 5 facts linked to failure to mitigate. The great thing about this graph is if you ever wanted to focus on facts linked to, let's say, mental anguish, you can just come and click the number 5, and CaseMap will pull that chronology that you were looking at earlier from the fact spreadsheet. Another part of using CaseMap is evaluating the facts. As you head into the courtroom to argue these facts, of course, the objective is to create the best possible outcome, right? So notice over to the right, there is an evaluation option for these facts. So if something is heavily for your case, you can simply say, hey, this is heavily for us. If something is challenging you, let's say from the opposition, etc., you can also just quickly tag and mark those facts as challenging. And what happens when you do that, and not to be generic here, but anything that's red means bad, anything that's good or green means good, right? So from that dashboard, when you're looking at this evaluation of your important issues, that's exactly what this will show. So when it comes to the issue of wrongful termination or medical malpractice, I can see we have one fact that's heavily for us, but we also have three facts that are challenging. And those challenging facts are being represented by this red section on the graph. So this is just going to help you understand, where your advantages in the case may be, and also where the challenges are when it comes to specific issues that you're trying to prove or defend in the courtroom. And down below in the dashboard, we also have some winning information. So it will let you know if there's any issues which are cited with positive Shepherd signals. CaseMap also connects to Lexis Research. It shows you that there's 12 out of 34 facts that are substantiated, material, and undisputed. And then over to the right, you just have some totals here to show you the total number of documents, the total facts, total people, and questions you have. So the dashboard is really a one-stop shop for a case overview. You have your notification center at the top to let you know, hey, this is the latest information that's been added to CaseMap. You have your analytics graphs to help you hone in on facts linked to issues as well as evaluate the issues. And then down at the bottom, you can really see the total number of documents, facts, people, and some winning content from CaseMap. Another unique thing about CaseMap is its ability to organize legal research. So you can see there are several other spreadsheets. For this case, I even organized a spreadsheet for my medications that my patients could be provided or documents could be related to. But I can also see, when it comes to fentanyl or morphine, I can see the number of documents and facts that these medications are related to as well. So clicking this link here, it just shows me that, the hydrocodone was mentioned in the email from Philip Hawkins. And it also shows me that hydrocodone is linked to a specific fact. Mr. Philip Hawkins had a severe reaction to that medication. So the same way you can link people and issues to facts, you can also customize these spreadsheets like medications and link those to facts in CaseMap as well. Could also be very powerful in the case. Over to the left, once again, CaseMap also can track or develop questions. These would be, any questions you want to ask during an interview. You can organize those questions here. It would also be a great place to develop a list of depot questions, which is the way some of our clients use it. But you can assign due dates as to when you expect an answer to a question. You can also assign the question to a member of your team or someone who's going to be presented with the question and keep track of the questions to ask them. So this is the questions area of CaseMap, and typically our clients use this as a to-do list or if they're developing questions as a part of an interview. But what I really wanted to talk about was the authority spreadsheet here. So the same way CaseMap can organize documents, you can also track your legal authorities. So if you're doing research for an issue like negligence or medical malpractice, you can actually download that research into CaseMap to keep it organized. Upper right-hand corner, we have an option called Smart Assist here. And let's say I wanted to do some research on personal injury matters, right? CaseMap will now ask you, do you want to search for personal injury in Lexis Advance? So this is a quick way, as the case is developing, you can have someone who's dedicated to research. They use CaseMap's Smart Assist. CaseMap will log you into Lexis, and it will pull tens of thousands of research articles relating to personal injury. So the great thing about this is that you have all of the most recent case law. It works with Shepherd signals, so you always know the cases are getting the most recent treatment. And what I can do is if I find a case like, let's say, Owens versus O'Cure here, I can just click on that case and there is a download option to bring this right into CaseMap. So this is an excellent way to not only track your facts, but to also gather that research you want to use to really drive these issues home, right? To prove those arguments. So the download takes a few seconds, and I'm just going to click here to open it. And in a second, I'll be prompted to send this to CaseMap. So all in all, from CaseMap, using our Smart Assist option, you can download legal research directly into the tool. So if I go into CaseMap, you can see that the case, Owens versus O'Cure, is here. It captures the title. It also captures the jurisdiction of the case law, and it even gives me the citation number and a description of the case. Taking it a step further, I can now open this research and I can find and read, to specific sections I want to use to really prove a particular issue. So in this case, you can see I have the full case, I have the overview, I have my core terms there, the summary, and even the outcome here, right? So what I could do in CaseMap is if I wanted to cite to this outcome as my burden of proof for a specific issue in the case, I can highlight. I can just say, we're just going to make a note here, personal injury outcome. I'm just going to say create an extract, because what I want to do is I want to cite back to this section of the research to prove this issue. Notice at the top, it will capture the text from the outcome that you've selected. I can now say issue linker, and of course, I want to link this to the issue of personal injury because the outcome of this substantiates my claims about what should happen in the Hawkins case. And what it does is it moves you from research authorities in CaseMap, which tracks all of your authorities, to an area called authorities from extracts. So what this area of CaseMap does is it will show you all of the research you've gathered and specifically which sections of that research you're citing to. So you can see Owens versus O'Cure. There's my outcome, which I put into the extracted text here. And now I can go and add a description, or I can add some notes, but I've already linked this to personal injury, right? So all in all there, all of the cites or extracts you have from the research, let's say you wanted to pull your extracts for the issue of wrongful termination. Notice I can quickly hone in on those cases like Ragsdale versus Wolverine to cite specifically the research extracts that I'm using. So CaseMap's not just a spreadsheet, it's also an excellent way to organize research. Another thing I want to point out is the customization available in CaseMap. So whether you're on the person spreadsheet or you're organizing facts, you can move things around. If I want the role in case column to be first, I can also right click, I can hide columns. I can create custom columns if I want. So this is a very customizable tool. So I don't want you to get the idea that CaseMap is a static application because it can fit the needs of any case you're working on. Notice I just added some phone numbers there for my people. So you can customize every spreadsheet. You can also create custom spreadsheets if you want. It's a very flexible solution. And it's also searchable. You can not only search the case, but you can also search documents. And I was kind of saving this for last because this is a really neat point. Let's say you want to know top to bottom, all of the information you have relating to a patient or a doctor, right? If I run a search for Mr. Philip Hawkins here, CaseMap will break down the entire case to show me facts I have relating to Hawkins. So the first thing I know is that Mr. Philip Hawkins is linked to 31 facts in this case, right? That's identified in this yellow banner up here at the top. I can also see under my results category, he's linked to 7 other persons in the case. He's also linked to 2 organizations, which is the hospital he was treated at and his previous employer. And then taking it a step further, he's linked to approximately 31 documents across this file. Now, the cool thing about CaseMap is it will show me the documents he's linked to, and I have them all listed out here. But if Philip Hawkins is physically mentioned on these documents, it will show me that as well. So you can see that I actually chose our review link files option. And because I'm searching for Hawkins, it finds his name across every document. So this would, could potentially be useful for, once again, a medication of some sorts or a specific type of treatment you're looking for, and you want to find references of that treatment on the documents. CaseMap can help you do that because it searches every document you upload into the tool. So this really sums up some of the core functionality of CaseMap. We hope you've enjoyed some of the features we shared today. This is a flexible and dynamic case analysis solution you can use to develop medical chronologies, to keep track of what's happening with your people, to also generate a variety of different reports. We didn't get into all of our reports today, but just to show you from the reports category, things like summary of judgment reports, report books are a customizable area of CaseMap. One of the things which may be helpful is facts and documents grouped by person, right? So what this report does from CaseMap is it pulls out the facts, but it tells the story for everyone in the case. And it does that for the facts, and it also does that for documents. So there's a title page, which you can customize. There's a statement of confidentiality. And there's also a table of contents that breaks down the report for you, letting you know exactly which page everything is found on. Introduction statement followed by cast of characters. This would be everyone involved in your case. So you would have a complete listing of your patients, your doctors, your key players involved in the case. And then you get into your facts grouped by person. So a lot of our clients like this because it tells the story for everyone. So Linda Collins, these are the 2 facts she's involved in. Mr. Randy Fushim, he's linked to 1 fact. You can see it there. Philip Hawkins, who's our patient, he's linked to 31 facts in the case. So this is a great way to keep your persons organized by the events they're related to. And then taking it a step further, CaseMap moves into documents that these persons are linked to. So these could be medical records, prescriptions, letters they've received, any type of documents linked to each person, such as Mr. Philip Hawkins. CaseMap can provide a report of those documents. When you're finished creating your chronology in CaseMap, you can quickly move into TimeMap, and I wanted to show this because it's very helpful as well. Let's say that your personal injury facts, you want those on a timeline. Running a filter in CaseMap, I can then right-click and say Send to LexisNexis TimeMap, and this will create a visual chronology of all of those events relating to personal injury. So this chronology can be expanded a bit if you want to kind of stretch it out, or you can also kind of detract the timeline. Let's move this down to 2 pages here. But all in all, from CaseMap, you've already identified those issues relating to personal injury. Now you're able to just show them on a timeline. You can add photos. You can also do things like customizing the colors. Let's say I wanted these 3 facts to be my hot facts, right? I can just say apply the style to selected facts. I can change the colors. I can change the graphics, so on and so forth. Just to show you a few additional timelines you can create, there's a comparison template. So let's say you had 2 different events or 2 different accounts of events from different persons. You can show that using multiple timescales. So at the top here, I'm telling Mr. Hawkins' version of the story. This is what he thinks happened. And at the bottom, we have Mr. Remit's version of the story. Another great way you can use TimeMap is to outline violations, right? Or company policies. So if you're trying to prove medical malpractice or negligence to a patient, perhaps you would do something like this, where you title your banner red here, and then all of the corresponding negligence issues or events are also red. So here I'm talking about violations of company policy. All of the events are red to support that claim throughout the timeline. So we really believe that CaseMap is an end-to-end case management solution. You can build chronologies of facts, you can organize your documents, and you can really tell the story to develop those powerful arguments you're creating. Once again, thank you everyone for attending our demonstration of CaseMap 14 today. My name is Tyler Bell. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you and have a great day.